Hi, welcome to this week's edition of It's an Inside Job with my special guest, Dr Rose Thompson, founder and chief executive of Be Me Against Cancer. Hi Rose, how are we?
Hi Roger, I'm fine and thank you for having me.
Looking absolutely radiant, I must say.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on to the show and being one of our amazing guests.
As you say, I'm founder and chief executive of the charity Be Me Against Cancer, and that came out of my mother having breast cancer and my twin sister having breast cancer and finding out I had a family history. So the charity is over 10 years old. It was formerly known as BME Cancer Communities, but there's a real story behind it, and I think that's what we're going to be talking about today. I'm still going through it because...
But where do you find it within yourself?
Yeah.
Is it your faith?
I was about to talk about that.
Okay.
Because I was brought up in a faith community. I was not one of those people that just follow everybody else. In fact, I was called the rebel. And at 14, I stopped going. And at 15, I went to church to dissuade my twin sister from being baptized. But in the end, you know, I came to my own faith in my own way. And I think that was really helpful that first time, because what I learned that first time with that lump, and one of the things that happened to me was that I was so busy caring for everybody else, I didn't even realise I was pregnant after my twin sister was recovered. And I remember we were going out and I thought I was going into the menopause, and she bought this pregnancy kit and she said, you need to check. And I said, I'm not pregnant. And then I did it and the blue line came up and I was just like gobsmacked. It was 11 years between the last one.
All right, okay.
So she was born just after my twin sister had recovered, and you know, she was a baby when, you know, I was kind of going for the mammogram. So your mind starts racing away with you. And I think the thing that I learned from talking to people is that fear comes first.
Yeah.
And it's a crippling fear. And you can't control your thoughts. And before you know it, you've got cancer, even though you've not been diagnosed yet, which is why I say to people one day at a time. It's very late stage, and basically, you know, what about your children? What about your husband? What about this, that, and the other? Before you know it, your funeral 6 foot under. And I think a lot of people go through that and they're not honest about that.
Yeah.
And in the end, it was so crippling that I said to my husband, who at the time was pastoring, I was born in Nottingham, but I lived and worked in London, met him there. He's actually was growing up in Wales, so he's one of the first black men I met with a Caribbean Welsh accent. I love the Welsh accent. So yeah, I said to him, you know, we just need to agree in faith that this goes, because I cannot live with this constantly in my mind. Plus, I was working with it every day.
Yeah. And
actually, that's what did it for me. You know, just one night, just saying to him, look, you just need to pray for me about this because it's crippling. And it lifted so much that I remember on the day that I went for the results, it was 2 weeks later, I was with a friend. I remember it was in Debenhams, which sadly is going to go, isn't it? But we were having breakfast together and she says, isn't it your result today? And she, oh my God, you know, I better get up to the city hospital. And the night before I was due to go into chemo, I can't even explain this, Roger, because, you know, I know about what you call the placebo effect as scientists, you know, that even talking about giving people sugar pills now and telling them that they're having, I don't know how that works, but I read an article about that.
All of this, okay, is one big journey, and it sounds like you've gone through so many different areas within your journey that you're going to give to, you know, be able to support other people. If there was one piece of advice in a very short sentence that you could give to somebody who's going through this difficult time right now about how your charity can help them, what advice would you give them?
It's changing so much. I just feel that people need to find the support that suits them. But I think it's really, really important to get support. Don't stay there in isolation. Tell somebody about it. Some people don't even talk about it, like my mother didn't. but tell somebody about it and get the right support.
Thank you.
Whatever betide, God will.